According to a major new report from the Los Angeles Times that came out within the last couple of days here, Donald Trump's allies actually considered a plan put forth by a man named Andrew Whitney, who was a British tech entrepreneur. And this plan was revealed in a draft of a memo that came out on, November 21st, 2020. So just a couple weeks after the 2020 election, Whitney puts out this draft memo that suggested using independent private contractors, armed private contractors, to go out there across the country and seize voting machines. States like Georgia, possibly Michigan, possibly Arizona, Nevada. But to send these armed contractors, accountable only to the people paying them, to take these voting machines so that Donald Trump and his team could, at their leisure, go through and audit them for fraud. But it wasn't, by the way, just the armed contractors. Oh, no. We were going to have U.S. Marshals escort them in, too. So that way there's no funny business. Make it look official, according to the memo. The memo, of course, never got beyond the draft stage, although the draft itself did even list out the companies that they could use. The companies, of course, were Rising Tide, Allied Security Operations Group, and Axon Global Services were the three companies identified as the ones who could send their armed guards to go steal the voting machines. Now, of course, the Trump administration, after, seeing this draft, or whoever it is, Donald Trump's allies, after seeing this draft, they came up with their own plans. They checked with the Department of Homeland Security. They checked with the DOJ, they checked with the FBI, seeing if they could send the armed guards. They talked about possibly sending the National Guard to seize the voting machines. They actually worked. We know Rudy Giuliani was in conversations with lawmakers in the Midwest about getting their hands on their voting machines. So it wasn't just a draft, right? It wasn't just, here's a thing, we're not going to do it. This is something they looked into. It is 100% something that they considered doing, and actually got into the planning stages of doing it, checking with these organizations to see if it was something that could be possible. And folks, I'm going to have to ask you again, do you understand how close we came to complete and total anarchy here in the United States? Again, I still don't think that people understand the gravity of this situation. Like, how this almost happened. How dangerous Donald Trump truly is. They wanted to not only steal the election, they were willing to steal the voting machines so that the votes couldn't be counted. Because, of course, they were going to get their hands on them and say, oh, no, we've got evidence. It's all fraud. It's all hacking. We had to throw it away. It was so scary. Yee. That's what would have happened. Had they gotten their hands on these voting machines, it would have been over. Because even if they found no fraud, they'd tell us they were filled with fraud. And we know that because we've had all the audits, we've had all the recounts, no fraud, but they still tell us it's filled with fraud. We almost lost this country. We almost lost this country. And how people aren't still freaking out about this. I know we've got outrage after outrage after outrage, but my God, folks, take a moment out of your time today and think about how close we came to really having a straight up dictator running this country. The America we knew was almost completely gone. Something to be taught about in history books as a failed empire. Of course, not history books here in the United States, because you'd have to whitewash all that history. But it almost happened, and we should still be terrified by that. Thanks for watching, and if you like what you saw, don't forget to like, comment, share, and most importantly, subscribe to our Ring of Fire channel here.